Why do women leave committed relationships for situationships? Well, I have a few answers for you guys. The biggest one is the experiences they get, especially the experiences that they see on social media. Now, the reason I'm asking you guys that is because that is the topic for today, and I have a clip for you guys. So let's get into it. Now, before we do this, I need you guys to make sure that you comment, like, subscribe, and share this video, because videos like this will be dropped daily. Now, I have 4 reasons as to why I think women actually leave committed relationships for situationships, but I'm interested in your thoughts, so make sure you comment. Now, let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Bertrand. I am the coolest dude on the planet, and I'm your friend. Confidence and clarity is the goal for my channel, so here we go.
Was my, like, that was sent by God. Like, he was supposed to be my husband, and I didn't have to go from man to man to find him. It was just like right there. Like, God sent him first, and he had to, the enemy got in my mind, and of course outside people was like, oh, you're not gonna end up being with him. You need to explore. You need to find out if that's really what you want. And I'm here to tell you, if you have a God-fearing man, a man that's going to pray for you when things is hard, you got a good man. Regardless of the situation, if you want a man with a bigger bag, help him get a bigger bag. Like, it's really nobody out here for real that's like that. So I'm just saying, like, I'm just coming on here to say, if don't leave your man for 10% of what he don't got. It's not worth it.
I have to interrupt her by saying this. If you're leaving your man for 10%, you're crazy, because that means he had 90% of what you wanted. 90%. Ladies, we're gonna get deep into this conversation, but I'm gonna say this. Ladies, you are only 40 to 60% of what a man actually wants, and the majority of that is your vag. But again, we'll get deeper into it. Let's continue.
You don't want to be like me. Like,
love her?
Yes.
Are you willing to do whatever it takes to stay with her?
No.
Like, feeling like you missed the opportunity. And I don't know if he might come across this video, but I'm sorry. I didn't know no better. I was worldly. I was of this world. I loved this world too much at one point in my life. And I changed. Like, I realized he who loves the world don't love God, period. So, like, don't leave your husband for a situationship.
I'm sorry, ain't gonna cut it. Not when you've birthed a whole nother human. I know I cut out a large portion of this video. That's because this video was about 5 minutes and like 45 seconds long, so it's like a 6-minute video. If you want to check her out, I'll leave the link in the description. Now, the reason why I chose this part was because this was important, right? It was important because it's describing exactly what's going on in dating or in relationships. Men want sex. Men do not want marriages. Marriage is something that men have like grown to think that this would benefit us, right? Because in our minds, we're thinking, okay, this means if I marry this woman, this means I get consistent, constant sex from this one woman right here. If there's going to be one woman that I'm going to have, it's going to be this woman right here. Now, what happens is once you get married, because I've been married before, I've been married and divorced, and I've been in relationships after my divorce was finalized. I can tell you this, when you're in a marriage or even a relationship, yes, it's going to start off passionate and great, assuming the woman likes you. The sex is going to be everything that you want it to be. And then you're going to start realizing that the sex is being weaponized, right? It's being used as a control tactic. And then eventually the sex is going to be taken off the table altogether. Now, I haven't experienced it being taken completely off the table, but I'm constantly hearing about it. And when I hear a woman tells me that this is normal, I'm like, oh my God, no wonder why relationships are not working. Think about it like this. All right, you know what? Let's get right into it. Here are my top 4 reasons. Number 1, we can say cheating, but what it really comes down to is sex and sexual
emotions. Whatever he's feeling, I'm not cheating. I'm not doing anything that's like foul or wrong.
Sex and sexual experiences, or the experiences that come right before you have sex, meaning women want to go on dates and women want to go on trips. This is all being fed to them by social media. They're looking at other women and thinking, oh my gosh, I want that life. This woman thought that this man was so boring because he wasn't as lit as the other guys were. Again, she's looking at social media and thinking, oh my gosh, I want to live that life. I want to be out in the world or out in these streets. I got to, you know what? This man is boring. I can do better than him. And then she had other people in her ear telling her, hey, you're not going to be with that man forever, so you better go and experience life while you can. Now, I want to point out something to you guys, because this is something that I've noticed over time, right? Especially dating, right? Because you can get frustrated. As a man, as a tall man, I do get frustrated with dating. I'll explain. When a woman is anywhere between 18 to about 24, this is party time. This is live your best lifetime. Now, when that woman is 27, 28 to about, let's just say 40, she's now looking to date with intention. She wants to be married. She wants to be monogamous. She wants to be with one person. No matter what baggage she brings, no matter how many children she brings, she now wants a committed relationship where you don't cheat. And I'm emphasizing the you not cheating because women don't realize, or they don't care about them cheating. Women know all the apps. They know all the tricks about how to hide apps. They know how to hide messages. They will hide messages. They will shame you. They will make sure you have no access to their phone. It'll be turned face down. A lot of things are being done, right? Now, here's what you also don't realize. When that woman is cheating, you don't know where she's cheating or how she's cheating. For instance, a woman could just be liking a man's story or liking his post or leaving a comment every once in a while. Now that turns into, oh, you ain't gotta worry about that guy. Or it turns into a ex-lover that's actually somewhere in her followers. So now when she posts things, she makes sure that she's sending subliminal messages, letting him know or updating him on what's going on in her current relationship. So fellas, pay attention to what your woman is posting in her stories, because this is her advertisement, letting men know when she's available, why she's available, or how she's available. Social media is what I'm saying is the problem. Next, and this is number 3, this comes down to jealousy. And it doesn't matter if she's jealous of other women or if other women are jealous of her. She either wants that man or other women want her man. Therefore, they're sabotaging her. They're ruining her, meaning they're making sure she gives up on that man, making sure she gives up on that relationship because they want that man. This is a position that I've been in a lot of times. Ladies, I'm here to tell you, some of the women that you think are your friends, you know, are actually not your friends. Now, why are you guys friends? I had this thought and I've heard other people say it, and I said, you know what? This has to be true. That woman has dirt on you, just like you have dirt on her. So what they're doing is protecting each other's dirt or skeletons or things that they have in the closet. So I'm starting to realize, damn, this is crazy. But the jealousy is something that you really can't get around. Think about it. For her to have experienced man after man after man after man, we all know this as men, that you're not going on the same date or the same trip, or you're not going to the same, or you're not going to all these different restaurants with the same guy. We know that it's multiple guys. In fact, this woman let us know in this clip that she could have learned this lesson without having to deal with all of those men. Now, again, who was the problem? It was other women. So this also shows you how easily a woman can be influenced. And guess what she's being influenced by? Social media, her wanting certain experiences. Let me tell you this. When it comes to experiences, every single man, every single person is going to have a different experience. Every single person is going to give you a different experience because the way that they think, the way that they move, how much money they make, how much money they want to make. These are all things that are going to make them experience life in a different way. For instance, a drug dealer versus a doctor versus an entrepreneur versus a stockbroker versus a life insurance agent. All of them are going to give you a different view on life because they're living life through a different lens. And then the number 4 reason why women are leaving relationships is because of the streets. The streets provide this fantasy that women just feel like they have to be a part of, because if they're not, they're going to be losing out or missing out on something, right? That something is traveling and seeing the world, expensive gifts, expensive dinners, right? Oh my gosh, the clothes, the shopping. And we cannot forget the most important things to women: their hair and their nails. 2 things. Well, I like when a woman has her nails done, not the crazy excessive stuff, but I like when her hands, they look clean. Now, the hair thing.
But your life does not. Oh my God.
If she's getting her own hair styled, cool. Matter of fact, I can even deal with the braids. But when we start getting to the wigs and the ridiculous extensions, what that does, the reason why men don't like it is because it's making you look like possibly my fantasy. So now when you strip yourself, or when you take all of that stuff off, my fantasy is gone and I'm left with what the fuck. Now I'm stuck with the thought of thinking, why do women keep saying that there's nothing out here? Because if there's nothing out here, then why are they so curious? Why do they want to be in the streets so bad if there's nothing out here? In fact, they're out here. So what does that really say? While you're thinking about that, I want you to think about what actually changed with this woman, because she knows that she messed up. There's a baby that she's now bringing to a relationship, and it seems like she wants to get back with her ex. The only problem is she's bringing a baby and that child's father. So now he's going to be stressed out, especially if he thinks that he has 100% access to this woman, because he's not going to have that kind of access. The baby daddy is still going to have some kind of access because he has a child with this woman. Now, I get why she's saying the things that she's saying and, making sure that you don't see certain things. The reason she's doing that is because she has to make sure that when she's selling herself to the next man, he has to want to buy what she's selling. Because if he's not willing to buy what she's selling, then she's going to continue in the streets, which clearly she's not interested in anymore after living a lit life, after blaming this on the enemy or blaming this on others, right? This was really all her fault. And I'm glad that she's taking some accountability for this. But fellas, this is why it is so important for you to stay focused, for you to stay laser locked in on what you're doing, because women provide a distraction, right? Again, you think that you're going to get into a relationship and you're going to be getting consistent, constant sex, just to find out that it's going to be weaponized against you and it's going to be used to control you, which means you'll be stressed out because she's not going to be happy when you're chilling. She's not going to be happy when you're not doing anything. When you're finally sitting around, that's when she's going to complain the most. And again, fellas, I want you all to understand something. I'm a tall person. I'm a tall man. I'm about 6'3". And yes, I do get some women, but I can tell you this, even when I do get a baddie, I don't get to keep her, because there's always a man with more money. There's always a man that's taller. So that woman is constantly looking for a new experience, or she's complaining about what I don't have. Again, this woman said, don't leave a relationship for 10% of what that man doesn't have. Some women leave for a lot less. When it comes to women, you guys really are only 40 to about 60% of what a man is actually looking for. Because I can guarantee you probably can't cook, or you can't cook good, delicious, healthy meals, right? Then we could talk about weight, which, you know, fluctuates. Some men want their women fit. Some men want their woman to not be obese. Well, that's something that's very hard to get around, especially with the way that everybody eats. Next, the personality. Is this woman sweet and caring, or is she nasty, snarky, and feeling like she's doing you a favor? If a woman feels like she's doing you a favor, you will get tired of that. You will get annoyed with that at some point in time. Me, I get annoyed with it sooner than later, because I've seen the other side of it. I've seen how women disrespect men who love them, who cherish them. I can't allow a woman to make me believe that I'm doing her a favor, especially if she doesn't recognize that I'm doing her a favor as well. With all this being said, fellas, focus on your mind, your body, and your finances, because no matter what you have or look like, the most important thing to women is their survival. So your money is what she's going to be surviving on. You are the thing that she's going to be surviving on. So keep that in mind. I mean, and look, I don't really have a problem with that part of it, especially if we're a team, especially if I know you got my back. I know you have my best interests in mind, but that's not what we see a lot of times in today's dating. That's the reason I say adapt to what's going on, because no matter how many people get on here and talk about their relationship issues, their relationship problems, the biggest thing that we're looking at is women being sexually liberated. And some men are still going to take a risk on a woman that has a ton of red flags. So pay attention, because this woman talked about situationships, but there's a few other things. Friends with benefits, vacay bay, right? So understand the full spectrum of what's going on in today's market. But I have a question. What do you think? Comment under this video. Remember, when you are watching these videos, you are becoming the best version of yourself. Now that this video is done, do me a huge favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with anybody you think this would help. Other than that, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.